I spent the last year of my life drifting in Japan, but the number one question I get asked is how much does something like this cost? I'll be transparent and show you how much it costs to build my car and also where I bought it from and some ways that maybe you could even do it for cheaper. So let's start off with the parts. The first thing I bought were suspension arms from D-Max. This Nardi steering wheel I got used from Yahoo Auctions, and these D-Max coilovers I actually got on sale during the Automessi car event in Osaka. The most reliable way to change your boost is this HKS boost actuator. I never really see them being used in North America, but in Japan, people swear by them. Remember this car that flipped in my last video? I actually bought his T28 Turbo because I eventually blew up my T25. These Project Mu pads are what they call the Japanese Hydro. I bought them once and they lasted the entire year I was in Japan. My girlfriend made me get a cage after seeing like 3 cars flip at Meihan. I bought mine brand new from Cusco. Later on, I upgraded my steering knuckle because I wanted to try to make it into expert class at Meihan. I got these straight from Naoki himself and I still never made it into expert class because I suck. So it's up to you if you think this is necessary or not. Speaking about unnecessary, I bought T37 since these were my dream wheels in the best spec, but I would later regret this. Near the end of my visa, I upgraded to this pair of Work Emotion CR Kais, and finally the 180SX itself I bought from Yahoo Auctions. It needed a bunch of wiring work, so I kind of lucked out on the price. At today's exchange rate, this is what it costs to build my car. And if you take out the very unnecessary T37s, the price actually drops significantly. Question is, could you replicate what I did for the same price? Well, maybe, because I picked one of the most expensive chassis to drift in Japan. The car didn't come with very much, so I ended up spending a lot on buying new parts for it. The only thing I really got lucky with was the car price itself because it needed wiring done. But let's take a look at what's available at auction today. Okay, so this is the website that I bought my car off of. It's called Yahoo Auctions, if you guys aren't familiar with it. But essentially, this is what's available right now. I would say that a lot of these cars are on the higher end of the price spectrum. Like, these aren't insane deals, and I have seen cars that sell for a lot cheaper than this. So something like this, it's going for 1.6 million yen for bid, and then the instant decision price is just if you want to buy it now, that's how much it costs. So looking at this car, you could probably get it looks like a pretty well sorted out car, a lot more so than what I bought. What I bought didn't come with wheels, but if we take a look at this one's actually a lot nicer. So this is something that maybe if you wanted to keep like nice and import it back to the States after you're done with your drifting journey, or even sell it to a local again in Japan afterwards. So this one's a late model, so mine was also a late model, but this one's a little bit on the expensive side for 2.4 million. Seems a little bit expensive, so I would imagine that this would probably sit for a bit. And lastly, I think this one, so something like this actually has some bids going on. So instance, I think this guy's kind of dreaming for 3.3, but the current bid of 1.6, this will probably end up going for somewhere between 1.6 and 2 million is my best guess. But again, this one's like really well sorted, has a full interior, the engine bay looks really nice. So something like this, again, would be a lot more of a kind of buy it and drift right away versus what I bought was, you know, you buy it, you have to work on it, you got to build it up to the spec that you want it to. But this is what I was talking about. Like, S chassis in general are extremely expensive because they all get exported to the States. So if you wanted to do something a little bit cheaper, I have seen people also use like 350Zs or Z33s. They call them, I think, Fair Ladies in Japan. Let's check out. I think there was one more that had to buy it now, and it was a manual. So this one's a manual. I think this is an auction car. So Nope. So this is actually a instant decision. So you could just buy this right now. Yeah, like something like this, great drift car to just thrash on, and it would be dirt cheap. So I have seen some people use these, super reliable, and usually you can get them to pass shotgun pretty easily because like no one really modifies them as much as S chassis. The other option that I've seen people use that's just really cheap, and this one shocked me because I see these at the track, and I think in North America, these are generally like kind of expensive. Like I see them go for at least like 10, 12, 14,000, even for high kilometer ones in North America. But in Japan, these are really cheap. I only know this because someone came up to me at the track one time and we were talking about car prices, and I was like, holy shit, like you rocked up here in a FRS, like these are expensive. And he's like, no. This is like, you can buy 2 of these for the price of my shitty 180SX. So that's kind of how I found out that these were actually really cheap and affordable and like a decent car to, rip around. Not the kind of cool car that all the YouTubers and stuff are using, but I have seen people drift these with a lot of success and they have a lot of fun with them. So that's kind of this is kind of the overview. There's tons of other cars. You could look at Miatas, you could look at other like Altezas, tons of cheaper options, but I would say 180SXs or S chassis in general are the most desirable. If you're up in Tokyo, you'll see like a lot of chasers, big body cars. Obviously those are just through the roof now. But in Japan, you can still find deals, and you can find deals at auctions if you're willing to be patient and like kind of just like go through the whole bidding process, because the buy it now prices are always going to be a little bit more expensive. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how much it costs to actually buy a car and, do the whole car thing in Japan if you're looking to move there and own a vehicle. So there's obviously other costs like going to the track. Usually it's somewhere between 10, like usually it's always under 10,000 yen. So Meihan's 10,000 yen. I think Bihoku is really cheap, and Tokushima Cartland is very cheap. Like they're under 10,000 for sure. Sometimes they include lunch as well. The killer, I would say gas is about the same price, but the killer is the tolls. So almost all Japanese roads are like highways are toll roads. Generally, my calculation for that, it's that however much you spend on gas is how much the tolls are, which is nuts. It's actually insane. And there's just no getting around that, because if you take the back roads, it's going to take forever to get to your location. But besides that, I think in my situation, I think a lot of people also ask like, oh, how much does it cost to actually live there? And my answer to that is I am from Toronto. So Toronto's one of the most expensive cities in North America. So comparatively, Japan is extremely cheap. I think I was spending something like in US dollars, it would have been $600 a month on rent. But keep in mind, this is a 300 square foot apartment. It's tiny. But food pricing, again, everybody knows it's a lot cheaper because of the yen prices. But in general, I would say I felt less stressed compared to living in big city Toronto, where rent is about 4 times as much. I could pretty much drift however much I wanted and pay the rent prices and living prices, and it would cost the same as just living in Toronto. So hopefully that kind of gives you like an idea of like how people do this. And I'm not the only one that does this. I've met tons of people that end up doing this in Japan. But anyway, if you have any other questions or comments, just leave them in the comments down below, and hopefully this helped you guys out. So yeah, see you on the next one.